Hi, boys and girls. Before I start today's lesson, I want to read you guys a joke from That's Bananas. Okay, ready? When asked how he was feeling, what did the grape say? I'm fine. Thanks for asking. Get it? Grapes on a vine. Why did the tomato blush? Because he saw the salad dressing. Dressing, you put salad dressing on, dressing. Multiple meaning words. A lot of jokes have multiple meaning words in them. Okay, moving on. So today's lesson is going to be area, but it's going to be a little trickier. So if you didn't really understand area of a rectangle or a square very well, I recommend that you watch that video again, or maybe do some extra practice on that. You can just have your parents draw a square or a rectangle and give you some numbers and units and figure it out, or you can just Google it with your parents' permission. There's a lot of worksheets out there, and if you can't print the worksheet, that's fine. You could literally just look at the screen and solve that on a piece of paper yourself. So I'm going to do a really quick review of just plain old area before we start area of combined rectangles and squares. So area is the inside. Area is squared. Length times width. So if I was figuring out the area of this rectangle, I'm going to take the length of it times how wide it is, 7 centimeters. So 5 times 7, and to find the area. So 5 times 7, count by 5s, 7 times, it would be 35. So then for the answer, it would be 35 with the unit, which is centimeters. And then, as we said in the thing up here, it's squared. So we're going to do that. Okay, so 35 centimeters squared. So that's how you just do plain old area. But today we're going to make it a little trickier. And we're going to do area when it's not just a plain old square or rectangle, which makes it a little trickier. So when you find something like this, what we have to do first is we have to find, well, if there's any sides we don't know, we'd want to find those. But this one, I actually gave you all the sides, so that's okay. So now what we're going to do to make this easy is you're going to break it into rectangles and or squares. And there's more than one way that you can do this. So for example, if I make a line going here, now look, I have a long, skinny rectangle. And I have this wide rectangle down here. So all I'm going to do is break it into 2 different ones, find the sides of that, find the area of each one, and add it together. I know it sounds like a lot, but it's really not too bad if you once you get going. So what are the side lengths of this? It's 10 centimeters long. So I'm going to put a 10 because remember, it's just length times width. And then wide, it's 2 centimeters. So for this top one, what's 10 times 2? It's going to be 20 centimeters squared. And now let's find the area of that bottom rectangle. So how long is this side? 4 centimeters. That's actually the width. So length is 6 centimeters times the width, 4 centimeters. 6 times 4 is 24. So that's 24 centimeters squared. So if I was talking about just this skinny one, it's 20 centimeters squared. Just this one at the bottom is 24 centimeters squared. So how do I tell you the area of this entire shape? I just have to add those 2 numbers together is all. So I'm going to do 20 plus 24, which would be 4 and 4. So the answer to this entire shape, the area would be 44, and then the label, of course, is important, centimeters squared. There is another way you could do this. So I drew the same shape down here again. I just didn't put all the numbers with it. You could also break it up like this, because now I still have all rectangles and squares. But now I would just have to find 3 areas and add those 3 areas together. So if I look at the numbers that I have here, I know that this is 2 and this is 2. So those would be 2 times 2. What's 2 times 2? 4. And so this one is also 2 times 2, and so it would be 4. And what would it be if this was this long one? That's where it gets a little bit trickier because I don't have this number. I've got the 6 that I would need. This would be 6 centimeters. Trying to hold the camera in right, not working out. But what would this be? Because this, it's got this little part here. Well, I know that this is 4. So if I added it up here, how long is that part? 2. So if this is 4 plus 2, what would that whole thing be? It'd be 6. Now, mind you, I didn't draw that to scale because you can see that that doesn't look like a square. So this one would be 6 times 6, which is 6 times 6 is 36. 6, 36. All right. So now, again, I would just add those 3 shapes together. 36 plus 4 and 4 is 8. Or you could just do 4 and 4 if that makes more sense to you. So there's 10 and a 4, 14. 3 plus 1 is 4. Still going to be 44. It doesn't matter which way you did it. All right, so let's put that one aside and do another one. Okay, so for this one, I didn't give you all the sides. I know in class that was something that was really hard for us, is when we were doing perimeter and we didn't have all the sides, trying to figure out what they were. So this would be really good for you to practice finding the unknown sides. All right, so first up, find the unknown sides. So I don't know this one and I don't know this long one here. But I do know the other one. So find the lines that are parallel. Remember, parallel lines never meet. If these were cars and they kept driving and driving and driving and they were both going straight the same direction, they would never crash because they would never meet on that road. So find a parallel line to this one. I see this line and this line. This is 4. So from here to here, it's 4. And from here to there, that's 4. So this full thing is going to be 8, and then it's m because it's meters. All right, and then the other side we don't know. Find parallel lines to it. Parallel lines never meet. So I know the full thing is going to be 8 meters, and from here to here, that's 4. So if this is 4, how do I make this equal the full 8? Well, that would also be 4. There we go. And now these numbers I shouldn't need. I might, we'll see. All right, so now the next step is break it into squares and rectangles. So there's 2 different ways you could do it. I could draw the line this way and have a square and a big long rectangle, or I could do it this way. So then just like before, I just need to find now the area of this big rectangle and this small square. So I know that this side is 4 and this side is 4. So all I'm doing is now I'm going to, let's see, I broke it into squares. Let's see, I need to label the units for those. Do I have that already? This is 8, this is 4, this is 4, and this is 4, so that's good. And I'm going to solve area for each. So 4 times 4 is 16. Ugh, what happened there? All right, so 16 meters squared for this one. And then for this one, 8 times 4 is what? 32 meters squared for that one. So the last one, I'm going to add those answers together to get the area of the entire shape. So I've got 32 plus 16, 6, 7, 8, 3, 4. So the area of this L shape is 48 meters and then squared, because area is always squared. All right, so this next one, I'm going to leave my directions here, and I'm going to put this one on the screen. I recommend that you pause it and try to solve this by yourself. Notice you do not have this or this. So go ahead and pause it, try to solve it by yourself. Okay, so you should have already solved it. If you haven't, pause this video and solve it. I want you to try it on your own. The only way you can figure out things and learn them is to actually independently practice them. Do it by yourself. But all right, now we'll check it together. So the first thing is we need to find the unknown sides. So I need to find this side and that side. So to do that, I'm going to find the parallel lines. The parallel lines to this one are here and here. I know this entire line, if this was a rectangle that kept going, this whole thing would need to be 11. But from here to there, it's 9. So if I added this extra little space here like that is, what is the difference between 9 and 11? 9, 10, 11. So 2. So this would be 2 inches. Did you get that? The tricky thing is, if you didn't get that right there, you probably don't have the right area for the whole thing. Next one, down here, we're going to do the same thing with parallel lines. I see the parallel lines are this long one at the top and this one here. So if this was a rectangle that kept going, or a square that kept going, this whole thing would be 10 inches. But I know this section would be 7 inches. So what would this need to be to make that full line 10 inches? 7, 8, 9, 10. So this would be how many? 3 inches. So right now, if you did not have those as your missing unknown side lengths, I would pause it again and fix the areas, okay? So next up, you can decide how you're going to break it. You can either put the break here or you could put the break here. Either way, you should get the right answer. So I'm going to go ahead and just draw my line here. So this shape is going to be, okay, ready? Break it into squares and rectangles. Now label the units for that. I have 11 and 3 for this one. Now this one, am I going to use 10 times 2 or 7 times 2? If I did it this way, I broke it here. I'm not using that full 10. So it would be 7 and 2 if you broke it that way. All right, so what is 11 times 3? It should be 33 inches squared, because now I'm solving the area for each of these rectangles. And then 7 times 2 is 14 inches squared. The last one, add the answers together. So 14 and 33, 4, 5, 6, 7, 3, 4. So the full area is 47 inches, and then you have to make sure you square it. Now, if you did it the other way, meaning that you cut it here instead, your problem is going to look different, but you should still have the same answer. So if you did it this way, you should have been doing 9 times 3, in which case then it would be 27 inches squared. And then for this one, it would be 10 times 2, which would be 20 inches squared. And if you add 27 and 20, you still get 47. So you would still get the same answer. All right, so I hope this makes sense to you. If it does not, watch the video again or ask your parents to help. You can draw these out, and I'm going to be emailing out a worksheet. So when I say that, by the way, I am emailing my personal class list emails. I have almost everybody's email, so I email it to your parents. If you are not in my class and you just found your way onto this group to get extra help, that's fine. But obviously you won't get these in your email. If you want it, just have your parents either comment below and let me know that they want it, and then I have to have their email address, or they can private message me through my Facebook group and I'll send you that as well. So I believe I have, one of them will look like this, where you have area of L shapes that you can practice. And so here they are right now. If you don't want me to email to you, you can pause this and solve. And there's another one as well that I'll be emailing. So good luck. If you have any questions, let me know. Bye guys. Miss you.